Hi and welcome to the 6th video tutorial. In the last tutorial, we talked about how this time exchange is going to be our x-axis and this bit price or ask price is going to be our y-axis. So let's get started. First of all, I want to create my x and y variable by defining x is going to be a string array and it's an empty array, and also y is going to be a number array, and also it's an empty array. Now I need to somehow redefine my x and y variables inside this subscribe function. So let's get started. So first of all, I need to somehow do that. I need to somehow use my data, and I need to go through each and every element of this data array. But if you take a look at these choices that this Visual Studio gives me, it doesn't know that it is an array. So I want to tell it that it is an array. And the way to do that is to put a colon there and my variable here, just like that. But I haven't defined my proper Bitcoin type yet. So I'm going to make it right there. Export interface and Bitcoin type, curly bracket, comment. And here I'm going to copy this and simply paste it like that. And I don't want to see 4 spaced indents. You guys don't have to follow this. This is my style. I want everything to be organized. Like that. Okay. And you know how to define these? We've done it in the second video or something. Number. Since these are all numbers, and since this syntax is all about types, so you can just do that. For instance, this one is just string, right? This is the way to define your new type. So I have successfully defined this type name Bitcoin, and I can utilize this. Since my program knows that it's an array, I can use this for each function, and inside this function I'm going to name this element variable each coin, right? And then inside this function, inside this for each function, if I use this each coin, then it knows that it has a type of Bitcoin, because I'm doing for each of a Bitcoin array. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to push all the values to this empty array. Let's do the y first, because that intuitively makes sense. What are we drawing? We are drawing bit prices. So when each element is iterated, you push the iterated values bit price here into your y array. Okay. The problem is our x is not so beautiful. I don't know if you guys have seen this expression. It has like z in it, and let's just print it first and then see how to fix it later. So that's that. And after this function is completely iterated, we're expecting our y and x variables have these elements as an array. Okay. And so we can simply print them here. This y is going to be the value, and this x is going to be the horizontal labels. And this is a graph of Bitcoin bit prices. Okay, let's save it, and don't forget to do the refresh. if we hit the button coin, oops, our breakpoints have moved. So we are going to put a breakpoint there first to see if the data is safely obtained, and it is. So we can move on and see if this each coin is safely obtained. It is safely obtained. So now I'm just going to run it through the end, and if I press chart, since I'm throwing in my x variable and y variable into this chart graph, if I press it, then it shows me this. So you can see how these strings are just these. So we don't want to see these. It looks like they're in the same month, date, and hour. How about the minutes? The minutes are slightly different, and seconds are obviously different. So how about we just show the minutes and seconds in the graph? So let's do that. I like to in this kind of situation, I like to use a sub function. I'm going to name it time, and this time make of this variable, and this time make function gets a time string, and this is going to output a string, right? Because we're showing string there. So this is going to output a string. Okay. Const time date is going to be a new date of this string, right? And let's see if this properly takes the time value or the date type value for this variable. Okay. Oh, and since this function is complaining because of this, I'm just going to return a empty string right there. Okay. So I need a breakpoint here. Okay, it has passed until this point, which means it never complained. So I'm just gonna move on because I can use this time date to make some other variables such as minute, time date of get minute, and seconds, time date get seconds. Okay. And also, I don't know if you guys know the difference between this string and this string. This key, for the people who first saw this expression, this key is right next to number 1 in your keyboard. And the difference between this string and this string is that this string can utilize your variable. So for instance, if you by the way, this is the format, this is the syntax of putting variable inside, right? It doesn't do anything, but if you do that, then it does that. So obviously the colors are different, and let's see how they differ. Okay, I saved it, and my breakpoint is still there. Let's do the refresh. Press coin. Okay. After they define minute, if I copy this, paste it here, then it's like it goes like that. So this string is gonna be printed like as it is, and this string, this expression, takes this variable and put it into string. So it says 36 because your minute is a number and it's 36. Okay, so we don't really need that, but we need a hyphen and the same thing, seconds. Or if you don't like to do that, then you can just do a plus and seconds. This also works. Let's see how it works. Do the refresh. Coin. So I got the value. Here. We don't need that breakpoint anymore. Here. If I do that, here. Do you see that? Yeah. So let's just keep it this way. So this one outputs a string, and the string is going to be pushed inside our x-axis. So let's see how it goes. I don't need any breakpoint. If I press chart, see, these are all changed. But as you can notice that these are not so beautiful, and also this one needs to be reversed, right? Okay, so let's reverse that. After this function is complete, this y reverse, this x reverse. So let's confirm if they're reversed. Coin chart. Okay, so they are reversed. Now we need to do something with this graph. And the simplest way to do that is to get rid of this. Because it starts at 0, it makes all the problems. So I get rid of that and refresh it. Coin chart. See? Isn't it amazing? Right? Because so far you've spent only like 20 minutes or so, and now you have this beautiful graph in front of you. There's this one last step left, which is to combine coin and chart buttons and make it a refresh button and put it right here so that it looks like a real app. And that's gonna be covered in the next video lecture. So stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video lecture.